using this mic? Looks like it is.
Think so.
Cool.
I can hear you great though. Yay!
Hi, hello, friend.
This is my first time using this like fancy Riverside thing.
Cool.
I'm excited to see you in this life and also that I got to meet you and this
Yeah.
is my first time that I'm doing these I'm starting to actually interview Merriment Makers. So you're my first one. And
Really?
yes. So this is very exciting. I've got a whole new format. This is very exciting. Very excited. Very excited.
I'm very excited too, buddy. I'm happy to be here.
I love you. I love you. All right. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Is your baby asleep?
No, he's a babysitter.
Okay, cool. All right. All right. So we're starting with embody. Embody. So you and I just had the opportunity of meeting in real life at Vortex Fest, hosted by the fabulous Gala Darling. And one of my favorite things you said on the panel was about how sometimes we'll have things going really well for ourselves and we'll be feeling joy. And then we'll find a felon with a gold tooth to bang under a bridge to make sure we have something bad to complain about. I might have added the bridge part.
No, that has been accurate.
That's been accurate. I told my boyfriend about that when I got home and he was like,
Does he have any gold teeth?
I mean, and you grew up in a state over from me. I'm in Maryland, and you're from evil land, evil land, right? It doesn't really matter. Virginia. And like too many people, unfortunately, didn't really have like a charmed childhood, right? To say the least.
Correct. It was rough, dude. My husband, on the other hand, had this just beautiful, just idyllic childhood. He's got the most stable, normal family that you've ever seen. And oftentimes we, kind of talk about, childhood. And I'm like, oh God, that was the hardest part of my life. And he's like, you're nuts. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how like some people will be like, that's the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with was like this one time my grandfather like didn't give me all the candy. And it's like, no, yeah. But I mean, Evil Land seems way too aptly named. And
perfect, right?
People can read about that in your memoir, which is called Too Pretty to Be Good. And I really related to like your upbringing and childhood and the abuse and the neglect and the feeling of like this lack of belonging. And as you say, like looking for redemption in all the wrong places, AKA fucking the felon with the gold tooth under the bridge. But like 25 years.
Yeah, just self-abuse.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, right? The self-abuse. But 25 years later, it seems like, God, we're so old now, right? Like, my boyfriend told me that I had graduated high school 17 years ago, and I thought he was like just being an asshole. And I was like, oh, all right, well,
how old
carry
are
on.
you?
I'm 35.
Okay, well, I got a few years.
You got a couple years, but we're still old.
Yeah, we're getting there. But I'm gonna tell you, bro, I thought I was old at 35, and now 35 seems like I'm like, you dummy, you were young.
Yeah, I know. Every couple years, you're like, shut up, just shut up.
Yes.
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. But 25 years later, after this, whatever, it appears these optics that we got, right, that you're doing or feeling a pretty incredible job, acknowledging that it's an everyday commitment and maybe that you're not needing to find redemption at all and finding joy instead. So can you tell me about embodying joy and how you embody joy and what that means to you?
Yeah, I'd be happy to tell you because, bro, you probably already know that it is an everyday choice. So, I'll hit you with some like theory and some practice here. All right. So when I say theory, what I mean is like what I believe about this. And what I believe most of the time is that a majority of our happiness is a choice. And listen, I know people here are going to hear me say that, and they're going to like toxic positivity, blah, blah, blah. Some people have hard lives. I got a hard life. I have a very fucking hard life. In fact, my life I don't think has ever been harder. And I had literally 9 minutes to like take a shower and make myself look halfway presentable, like just to be here halfway on time. And that really is the nature of my life. It's hectic, hectic. There's no breaks for me. It's not easy, dude. And sometimes probably like more often than I have in a while, I feel pretty fucking beat down, you know? And I'm sure you've had times like that in your life,
Yeah.
and for any number of reasons. But for me, I'm a CEO. It's busy. Yeah, running a business is no joke. And then I got this baby, which was just like a wonderful blessing, and I love him. He's my king. But he's the two people. It's too much work for two people. There really should be three people living my life. But I mean that. I think that all the time. Like, if three people, we might get this done. So some days it is a challenge.
I was looking at your Instagram stories this morning about you like running around with your kids showing what the floor actually looked like. You were like, this is not representative of who I am. This is a
Not
sock
me.
and a mozzarella stick
Yes.
wrapper and dog
Yes.
food's on the counter. And this is not how I want to live. And then you like zoomed
I,
in on your kid. You're like, this is you, honey. This is
you.
you.
It's you. And I'm seriously, like, I'm a neat person. I've prided myself on a clean house my whole life. Like, this, if no, girl, it ain't
Yeah.
that. And that kind of brings me to the point. I was just kind of congratulating myself on my walk this morning about how, I've kind of I understand that this house is not going to be clean, and in fact it's not going to be clean for probably another 3 or 4 years to any standard that I'm used to.
Mhm.
The old me, this would make me like this would be one of many things that would leave me in a perpetual state of like tightness, low key anger, something I've struggled with, being like low key angry a lot. But now I really feel that I can just accept what is and love what is.
Yeah.
And that is the choice that has to be made over and over and over. Is there is no trip to Paris that's going to solve this.
Right.
In fact, I take trips to mansions as a living. Okay. And I've been depressed as a motherfucker in the finest locations on earth from
Right.
time to time,
Yeah.
as I'm sure you have as well.
Right. You can't vacation from yourself.
Wherever you go, there you are, as they
Yep.
say. And so to embody joy for me is to take responsibility for your life and have some fucking grit. And I don't think a lot of people think about it like that. But to me,
Mm-mm.
it's like, yo, I know other people that will go unnamed that have also had difficult lives, but boy, they wallow in it. They
Mhm.
fucking wallow. I try not to judge. Sometimes I do. But all I know is for myself, I can't allow myself to wallow and just fall back into the depression and anxiety and like the of all the shit I've got to do. I just have a lot of shit to do. I am just not going to get it done. I am going to feel pressure right now, and I'm not going to get as much sleep as I would like. And I choose to say, this is okay. And in fact, there's going to be a time, and it's not going to be far from now,
Right.
that I look back on this and all of the busyness and the stress that I feel now will fall away from my memory. And what I will remember is these beautiful years when I
Yeah.
thought I was old, but instead I had a baby. And
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, in practice, what does it mean? I'll tell you, I go on a walk every day. All
Yeah.
right. So that's one thing. And I got a nice trail, beautiful 4 mile like boardwalk. It's a huge blessing.
Beautiful.
Take a walk every day. I dance as often as I can.
Mhm.
Probably 4 or 5 times a week.
Good.
And I like to listen to this podcast called the Happiness Podcast. You ever
That's a
listen
good
to that?
one. I have, yes. That's a great one.
I love that dude, Dr.
Mhm.
Robert Puff. He
Yeah.
talks like this, and it might make people annoyed sometimes, but the man is doing the Lord's work. And so I try to have almost a hygiene.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Whatever you want to call it. It's a practice, a
Right.
hygiene, a ritual, a whatever it is. But like the fact that you have these consistent spaces that you're coming back to, whatever it is, no matter how chaotic this shit is. Anytime I see you on your stories, you got a baby on your hip,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's what's real right now.
Yes.
And for anybody that's saying like you can't do all these, like you can't do all these things at once. You can't. That's the reality of it. No matter where you are in your life, whether
There's not enough hours and there's not
there
enough of you.
simply aren't. And
Yes.
like even if you are someone that has the money and the resources to hire, like we were saying, like if I had 3 people, right, to be the CEO and the mom and the right, like, but you still need to be present for those things. You still need to be even the one who's like I have a social media manager, but I still need to be the one that's like confirming and proofing these things, right? You still, right.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you still need to be present in some capacity for these things, and those hours still need to be there.
That's correct.
And there's but having the priority at the top for like setting yourself up, like for the walk and the dance and the tone of your energy, like this word energy is really fascinating to me, honestly, because I think we use it a lot, this word energy and vibration and alignment and all these things, these fucking buzzwords that come so much because I think we don't have a better word for them. you
Uh-huh.
know it's like spirit and magic and God and all this stuff. It's because
Yes.
we don't know, we are lacking better communication for what these things are, so we kind of max out with our, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like our energy, we don't know what else it is, but we got to set it. And that's that, I mean, we're in this embodying space here of like your joy. So it's like, yeah, you got a baby on your hip, and this is for a time now where until they're out of this toddlerhood era, you're gonna have this messy house with trash on the floor. That's what
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
And until people accept that, what it is, right? This lack of judgment, this lack of control, right? Because you
Yes.
can't control
Yes.
the baby, you can't control this era of where
That's
you
right.
are, right? So if you accept it and just say, this is where I am until it shifts, and know that it can shift, then you can say, well, how can I make it work and set my energy, set my joy with what I can work with?
Yes. And, Mary, I refer to this as relaxing your spiritual vagina. Okay.
Mm.
And let me tell you what I mean by that. I know you know that I am a dancer, a big part of my life, and it has
Mhm.
been for a long time.
Yeah.
Everybody who is a dancer, every bitch wants to do a split. They all want to, hell, can you do a split?
I used to be able to. I
I
danced
bet
for
you'd
11
like
years.
to do it again, right? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's a glamour move, right?
Oh,
Like,
just
yeah.
to sit in it. It felt good.
And by the way, you could get it again very quickly.
I
All
could,
right.
yeah.
And so something that I often instruct people in as a dance teacher is, we work on flexibility, we work on splits.
Mhm.
Now, something that you learn if you're a mother and you're giving birth is like this connection between like your mouth and your vagina. This is the sorts of things they preach about. Okay. If you ever get pregnant and you're reading about it, you're gonna encounter this, to just relax, to
Mhm.
everything. Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to doing a split, and you're pushing your flexibility to like right at the edge. Very common reaction for your body, your muscles to clench, to get tight. It's like a no, it's like this is
Yeah, why should we be expanding? It's like almost the opposite of you're being
Yes,
so vulnerable.
yes. And when that happens, you will often, if you pay attention, you're going to notice that you got your pussy clenched.
Mhm.
Okay. You're
And
like,
your tongue's like on the roof of your mouth and it's
yes.
all yeah.
And I always teach people as we're trying to get, a little bit deeper. I swear to you, I mean, literally, relax your vagina, relax your vagina. And like you'll feel yourself, you will sink deeper. And so teaching that over the years, from time to time, I would think, well, that's kind of a metaphor for life, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, the challenging thing, we're at the boundary and we want to like protect ourselves, and so we often take a defensive position, like a resistance, like a tightness, a no. And instead, I could look at this house, and as a younger woman, when I was less evolved, shit like this, I would really just be mad all the fucking time.
Right. Yep, me too.
Just this low grade kind of like, and I'm being mean to my husband, shit like that.
Yep. And you got to take it out somewhere because you got to control fucking something.
Right. And so, in the past, something like this, or not being able to work, like I need to be able to work,
Mhm.
I could be, a no and tight and just fucking like, I gotta escape this. I gotta fix this. I've got to make this the way that I want it to be.
Yep.
Or I could relax my spiritual vagina, let the fucking universe and this life flow through me as one big yes. This is what it is. I'm doing the best I can with what it is, but this is the best that I can with what it is. And so instead of resisting, I'm just going to like sink into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's like a performance or something. It's like stand up or this podcast. It's like literally anything else. Sometimes there's a mess or a mistake, and that's part of the fucking show.
Yes.
Just go, honey.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So, what what do you feel like we should tell someone who has this desire right now to maybe fuck a felon with a gold tooth, be it for the story, to mess things up on purpose, whether they're too good right now or they simply could just be shittier so they can blame it on their lack of progress, or instead of themselves, or I
Yeah.
don't know,
I
like,
know.
yeah.
What I would tell the person who is either chronically or on the verge of ruining their life for entertainment, I would tell them this. Your simple life is quite interesting.
Mm,
And this simple life is actually not simple at all. There's so much complexity and beauty to be found. I know, my friend, that if you're the kind of person who's breaking your heart for fun, then you probably have experienced a life that has made you believe that nothing feels like anything unless you're stabbing yourself a little bit.
mm,
You might have been a cutter, you might have had an eating disorder,
yep.
you might have been repeatedly involved with abusive partners,
Other ways to find control.
promiscuity, which
Mhm.
like no shade, but I know for me, like fucking a lot of people that like I could never detach my emotions, so I was just breaking my heart again and again with people who really didn't care. That they didn't care, and wow, I would like to tell those people, is that are you listening right now? Is that you? Do you have this feeling like life doesn't feel like anything unless it's got a little dramatic spice to it? I want to tell you, yo. Life is not, in fact, a movie. There are some, I was just thinking this the other day. There are some mistakes that you can make that is so bad you can't fix. You can't fix. You
Yeah.
can actually break somebody's heart bad enough that they don't love you anymore, and
Yeah.
there's no talking them back into it because you have killed the love and it is dead. It's
Ooh,
gone. You know,
yeah.
so I would say to that person who's feeling a little bored and thinking about bringing some chaos into their lives, I'd say, don't learn the hard way that all of this shit is not without consequence.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, and I believe you can, stop abusing yourself for entertainment and instead look and appreciate all of this natural and beautiful entertainment that exists in this simple day to day wondrous life.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not everything, there's so many things that we're looking for control outside of ourselves for because we don't feel the joy and the simple, and we think that things, like you said, don't need to be, they think everything needs to be more complicated than it is. And a lot of people like to tell me that they like how much I revere the simple things in
Mhm,
life. And I don't find them to be simple, frankly. I think
mhm.
that simple is an interesting word to describe the things that I celebrate, but I understand what they mean. However, I think we need to maybe kind of reframe our idea of what is simple. I think these things are just earthly and sensory based, you know, that it's grounded in presence and being here. And instead of just this idea of like what can be this next fucking level all the
Oh,
time, it's the, I, when I was in LA, I was at the back of the store and there were like these 50-cent broken toys and they were all like looking crazy, and I was like, I need these, like these are insane, I love these, you know, I love them way more. And I realized like this is the part of people that people like to see of what I do, but you know, I just love these like lonely looking toys coming out of like in Toy Story where Sid's like messing with them and I like those guys, you know, I like the broken heart weirdos. And
I do too.
yeah,
I have
but
a three-legged dog for this
yes,
very reason.
like, but
Yeah.
like the details on stuff, the fuzziness, and like fucking feel your stuff. You know, Chelsea always says if you're trying to get to the moon and say you're a moon goddess, then like stop trying to leave here and be present. Be
Yes.
present here, honey. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh. All right. Yes. All right. Create.
Oh,
Create. Create joy. Now, many people might first think of you as a stripper, pole dancer, twerker, strip coven, or something in that arena. But you, and not but and you also study literature, you write, you speak motivationally, coach, and empower women. And there are many areas of talent that you are embodying independent of kinesthetics. Now, in term of creating, do you feel or think or however in you, is there any sort of hierarchy in you that you think of yourself in terms of an artist?
yes. Absolutely, and thank
Can
you
you
for
tell me about
asking that
that?
question. That's a great question. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of things you're asking, I really was truly just thinking about these topics on this walk.
Beautiful.
Anywho, that's why I had to get a shower because, bitch, I was dripping in sweat. I mean, we're like out here in Atlanta, honey. Like we don't
Humidity. Yeah, I
play.
got it here too. It's not quite as bad the more south you go, but it's bad, and it's a weird pocket in DC and Baltimore.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
So I would say, firstly, that creating art is like I was put on this earth to create. I am fucking compelled, boy. Like I don't ever have to sit around and drum up ideas. Like I have them. I mean, like, oh my God, I once again wish there were multiples of me that could just create all of these different avenues of art
Mhm.
because, like, oh my God, I've got so many ideas and I know exactly how I want to do them.
Me too. I know.
Yeah.
You just we're the
Yeah.
kind of people that have like 400 notepads open all the time, and they're not like for consuming, they're for creating.
Oh, 100%. So my hierarchy, it may surprise people, but number one, I am a writer.
I
Okay.
thought so. I fucking thought so.
I am a writer, a a a memoirist, a nonfiction creative writer. I am a photographer of
Mm,
humanity with words. I am
beautiful.
watching y'all. I am not creating out of my mind total fabrications. I'm watching, I'm observing, I'm picking these little moments that are like poems, and I'm putting them in my back pocket and then I'm writing them in a piece later.
Yes.
I'm a writer. And now in some ways that's obvious. I'm
Right.
in the midst of producing Hooker Gate for iHeartRadio because I
Mm-hmm.
won that fucking contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, next great American podcast. That's really cool.
Whoop, whoop.
And that's a docudrama. And so, when people hear
Exciting.
podcasts, they think like interviews and stuff. A lot of times, like this is like pre-written creative writing. It is a docudrama. It's going to be almost like a immersive. Think more like a series on prestige television.
So
Okay,
exciting.
that's like an ensemble cast. I was
Right?
really inspired by
Mm.
old school radio before television,
Oh my
when
gosh.
there were these shows with like sound effects and
Yeah.
like just very immersive.
Because
Okay.
that's all that the only way you had to communicate. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I was in this
Yeah.
antique store when I was in LA and there was this whole wall of old antique radios. Oh my God. I took a picture. It was, oh
The
God, it was so
vibe.
hot.
The vibe on that
Oh my
motherfucker.
God. And then I found
Yeah.
like I'm obsessed. I collect postcards and there was just this like whole wall of postcards and I just sat next to the radios and just like looked through the postcards.
I wish I was at that place, but I'm glad I wasn't because I ain't got all this money to be throwing around
I
left
just
and right.
texted my boyfriend and I was like, I just texted him a picture of the postcards and he just goes, I'll tell everyone you live in LA now. Like,
Right.
he's like, I understand.
Yes. 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 So, I am a writer in obvious ways with like actually producing and putting out artwork. My memoir,
Yep.
Hooker Gate. I've got another collector's edition
Mm-hmm.
book that is on the horizon,
Cool.
that I would like to create like a coffee table high end
Mm,
work of art book that
beautiful.
chronicles um, my career, the rise and fall and rise of Lux ATL. I was one of the first influencers, I have to say. I was,
Yeah.
and by the way, I wasn't influencing people to like buy other people's products. I was
Right.
influencing them to buy my shit. And if
Yep.
you're listening, I'd love it if you buy my shit so I can keep this house. That'd be fucking
I just
great.
had a thought that one of the pages should be like, because one of my favorite images of you is like you twerking on the ground while reading like literature, and you could have like a pop-up, like not a pop-up but like a moving page where your booty moves.
See, and this is the kind of ideas that like keep them
But do you know
coming.
what I mean? Like a big, and like it's
Oh,
like a children's book
like
but your
a
booty
children's book.
moves.
Yes, dude.
Oh, and
And
then the book could move too.
right. See, now you're fucking thanking. And I'm
Yeah.
and I'm
Oh,
and
I'm fucking
I'm
thinking.
and I'm taking this and I'm
Yep.
putting this in
Put
my
it
back.
in, put it in your
Yes.
back booty pocket.
Yes. So I am a writer on this very like explicit
Yes.
level. I'm putting out literary works.
Yes.
I also have a Substack, Tumultuous True Stories, which is old writing. It's old diaries. It's from my millennial youth. The early 2000s.
Mhm.
Anywho, so
Which
yeah,
was
I'm
the
a writer.
hottest time for writing, live journal. Oh
Dude, I mean, I've
god.
got so much. I mean, volumes. I've been writing my whole life and
Me
I've got
too.
it
Me
all.
too.
Yeah. So I'm a writer on that level, but
Mm,
also I fully believe that a majority of my success, even as Lux ATL, strip craft, marketing these retreats, marketing my school of strip craft, which is my online and in-person dance academy.
mhm.
I truly believe that almost every dollar I've ever made, and the people don't know it, the audience don't know what it is that's making them love me and wanting to buy my shit, but it's my writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even as a dancer, the writing is like it's like
One of my
it's
favorite
not,
posts you ever made that I was like, was you said, if people aren't listening, or if they're only listening, they didn't see what I just did. I don't even know what I clapped and then put my hands up like I was praying. Um, um, You said, honey, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, like, honey, if you're doing anything online, if you have a business, if you're doing anything, you're fucking writing. Like, if you're making captions, if you're doing like anything, you're writing. And I was like, yes, like everybody thinks they're not a writer, but like, I mean, you might not be a writer, right? But you are writing. Like, if
You're
you're making
right.
copy, you're fucking writing.
And you know what? And you might not be a writer, but guess what, bitch? You better learn.
Yes.
Yeah. And I
We can
think,
see it. We can see the words.
yes, I mean, I think it's such an important skill nowadays, to be a great human storyteller.
Mm,
And I believe that that skill is only going to rise in
yes.
value.
I just
Yes.
took this it's like a strength test. I can't remember the name of the test, but it's like a 5 strength I
Uh-huh.
think that might actually be the name. But that was my top one by far. Was my skill set was like storyteller, optimist, and influencer were the
Well,
three.
it shows.
Yeah. And I was like, no shit. Well, that's fair. And then I had like no executive functioning skills. Those were like at the last. I was like, well, that's also true.
Can relate.
Uh,
Can relate. I often refer to myself like in my business, like I am just the front man. I'm
yes.
the artist.
I remember Gala once said, I just want to be the bimbo with the great ideas and somebody else does the business work. And it's like, yeah, that's fine though. But
And if you want, the moment as a business person that you have the smallest amount of extra funds, if you're an artist like you or me, a
yes,
creative, a front
hire,
man, you
hire.
gotta hire that manager because like you do not need
It
to be
took
put
me
in
10 years to hire someone and I'm an asshole and an idiot for not doing it sooner because you know why? Control. That's a theme here.
yes,
Control. Because
yes.
I was like, no, I do it better. I do it right. Nobody else can. Because also fear. Because I
Mhm.
think that also as women, we have been taught that like people are going to mess you over and I need to be hyper independent and hyper vigilant. And you know what I mean? Like, so many people have abused me and all this da 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 da.
Big relate. I am hyper, and this I think is probably a character flaw at this. I don't know. Like I don't know if it's
It
the
is.
right.
I believe it is. I'm right
Yeah,
there with you.
but at the same time, you can't be
No,
too.
you can't be too trusting. I mean,
No,
you'll. My next book is going to be called Ketamine and Con Artists, and you, honey, you have no idea.
and I'm gonna tell you that's a title that'll move books.
Boop, boop,
That's
boop.
a fucking good title. I mean, right away I'm like, whoa, what's that about?
So you're a writer first, and you know
Yeah.
why? You know how I fucking knew? I mean, I felt it, but I knew because even though what's visual, the optics of what's happening is the booty, right?
Yeah.
Is even through what's like I can tell them that's making more money or whatever, right? Is the stripping the coven and all, right? Like there were still these projects that were coming out, like your memoir and all these writing based projects that were like there was no there was no option. They had to come out, right? There was It's like when you're a writer or you're any kind of artist, it's like sometimes you have to do these other things,
Yes.
and but these things simply must come through.
Yes.
And that's how I knew. It was like, well, you're definitely a writer, maybe first in your heart.
Yes. And you know what? And by the way, it was calculated all the motherfucking while. When what I mean is, as soon as I realized that I could get like, some small modicum of internet famous, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as soon as I realized I could do that and
Yep.
that I could, put myself out there in my captions initially, and to try to make people be invested in me as a human being, I was always thinking the whole time, and I mean for like years, I was writing this memoir, toiling away, and I was thinking, unlike all of these other writers I know, I got 3 degrees in English. Like I went to school with a bunch of writers. That's what we were there for. And and many of them are quite brilliant, but what they didn't have is a following of people that were already in love with them and like, appreciated them. And
Right.
whole time I'm like out here pole dancing. I'm doing this stuff that I know that's like the glamour shit that'll make, people go and watch that. They're gonna double tap it.
Yep.
I was always doing that as
Mhm.
like a way to get them in,
Yeah.
so that when it was time for me to put out my writing that meant the most to me, they
Brilliant.
were there. I had the audience, and because they were invested in my story, whether they were readers
Or not.
or literary people
Right.
or not, they were going to buy this book. And
Mm.
they did. I sold thousands of fucking copies.
I mean, it's brilliant.
Thank you. And I'm still selling copies. And by the way, to anyone who's listening out there who feels like, that they're not good enough, or they get rejected, or that, they need to be legitimized by a book deal. Publishing world is changing, first of all.
100%.
Yeah, the old order is on the way out.
Yeah.
Now that's a fact.
And
Secondly,
frankly, getting published by you have to go through such a rigorous editing process, and they take creative control. It's a whole
they
thing.
indeed. And they also take all your goddamn money too, like
Yup.
all of it.
Yup.
All of it, yes. So what I want to say is this to these people who are feeling like, oh, maybe I'll never get accepted or anything, I didn't. I came close too.
Mhm.
Multiple times, came close to getting book deals. And for a long time, I thought that was like the goal, because
Mhm.
I was always wanting to be legitimized. That's why I got all these degrees. I was like, well, PhD, now I'm legitimate. Well, now I've got to get a book deal, and now I'm legitimate, and I didn't. I did not get a book deal. And by the way, I think I am uh infinitely better writer than most of the people I read who
I
I'm
mean,
not trying to be an egotistical person, but like,
no, there are so many book deals that I see that are just like 200 pages, and each chapter is like, you can tell that the editors have written the book and that it's just horrible and it's fluff and it's horrifying to me.
yeah. And I mean, look, there's a lot of good shit out there too.
Of
Like
course.
right now, I'm reading this book. I believe it's entitled like the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Mhm.
I picked this up at the airport. I was like, this would be something cute.
Oh, was this the trashy romance novel?
I didn't think it was trashy, but I
Oh,
thought like, it'd be, just kind of like a little page turner. Bitch, it's a work of genius.
yeah.
And surprise, it's about a lesbian love affair.
Oh,
Dead.
beautiful. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's great stuff out there. I'm reading Enchantment, The Creative Act, and Stolen Focus right now, and they're all amazing. It's not that there
Stolen
can't
focus,
be
boy.
good
Stolen
things.
focused. I
It's
don't.
Johann is amazing. I mean, it's not that there can't be good stuff. It's just that, anyway.
Yes.
So, being a writer, having a literary PhD, do you there's a weird societal interpretation of juxtaposition on that and stripping.
Yeah.
And why do we seem to, what are your thoughts on this idea that we seem to see these things as so opposing? And do you ever feel like you um, find yourself needing to overcompensate and we are just talking about degrees and remind people that you are smart and educated because of the way that you dress and or speak because you have an accent? I remember that when we were
Yeah.
at Vortex Fest, you kind of like came out the gate and said, this isn't a joke. And I was like, what is she doing? And she's kind of pre-apologizing for her accent. Isn't that interesting? And
Yeah.
it's kind of like making fun of yourself before someone can make fun of you. I
Yeah.
do it a lot. I have degrees in psychology, and only recently took these out of the tubes that they came delivered to me in like 4 months ago and hung these
Well,
up.
by the way, I noticed them.
Well, good, because that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do. But it's on purpose. And it's because I have pink hair, and because of my psychology degrees, I know that we have a tenth of a second to make a first impression, and
Yeah,
that
girl.
optics are doing the heavy fucking lifting because we're fucking
Yes.
visual. And I don't
Yes.
want to appear frivolous, and I do want to know that I have a fucking education. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, what are your feelings on all this with like coming out wearing pasties? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that was a good look. Oh,
it was a hot fucking look,
yeah,
dude.
thank you.
I was like, look at that crotch though. Like,
I know, right? Well, before I answer, I want to say, uh, visually, you have knocked it out of the park with your branding.
oh, thank
And
you.
yeah, I mean, you've done an excellent job. It's one of the first things I noticed. It's with you, just your look, your clothes, your makeup, your hair, just the way, like, and Gala Darling does it very well too.
It
And in
does.
case you didn't notice the sea of pink,
Oh my God.
like that visual branding, man, that is key. That's that kind of shit that's like in the like back of your brain somewhere. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're not cognitively aware, but you
It's
knock it
there.
out of the park. Like the visuals. It's like I know. I'm like I understand already what she's about. And
Mm,
by the way, it's good. It's a good impression. And in
thank
no
you.
way do you look like a silly goose. And well, maybe a little bit. But
I'm
like,
dressed as a banana on my business card.
which is amazing. No, now for me, um, the the price of being edgy
Hmm.
is being on the edge.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have oftentimes railed and been mad, and I mean rightfully so on some level. So let me give you an example. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, a bitch like me is building a career online, and I always have. And so therefore, being able to be visible on, let's say, Instagram
Hmm.
is important. Although I am working hard to not be dependent on that app. And that's
Yeah.
a whole other topic.
Yeah.
I am dead against the meta business model. I think it's very bad for humanity, legit.
Yeah.
But someone like me, she like a lot of times people like can't even search my name. Like, did that app just fucking suppresses the shit out of me unfairly too? Because there's a lot of other bitches, like let's even say the Kardashians, that are looking way more hoish than me. Okay, and look, they're hot as fuck. I think if I had that body and I had them big old titties, I'd put them out on the internet too. Right? I'm not hating, but um I will be suppressed on Instagram. This happens because, for example, I'm a pole dancer. For example, one of my, most viral skills is booty isolation. You know, for any number of reasons. And many times I've been so mad about that. And I am. I don't
Yeah.
fucking appreciate it. Y'all are fucking with my money. But isn't all of the money being made really because people know that I am edgy?
Right.
And yes, I chose to be something outlandish. Okay. And I continue to choose to be something outlandish. And here's the thing, man. My dad used to always say, there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but I do now. And what he meant is you're going to pay. There's a cost for
Right.
everything. There
If
ain't
not
nothing.
now.
Yeah, there's nothing for free. So, do I want to be outrageous? Do I want to be something different? Do I want to be edgy?
Mm,
Well, the cost is you're literally on the edge. You don't get to be centered. You don't get to get a blue check. You're suppressed. If you are not suppressed, if you are put on the main stage, if you're given the blue check and the endorsements, then by definition, you are not edgy. You're the center. You're what's okay. You're
right.
what's allowed. And there, by the way, is wonderful places. And for those people, that doesn't mean you're lame. I don't use edgy to mean simply cool, though to
Right.
my mind, I always found it cool. I want it to be, you know, smoking cigarettes and breaking laws. That's kind of, you know. But I have friends, for example, very famous people, who one friend, for example, she always kind of makes fun of herself as like, well, I'm buttressing the patriarchy because she's a live wedding painter, and she has a lot of followers that I just can't get because she gets exposure and
Mhm.
she is allowed in a way that I am not allowed.
Mhm.
And sometimes I think she feels self-conscious about that. But no, the world needs a beautiful wedding painter, and you're not lame for that. But somebody like me, you know, if you and like probably a lot of your listeners, I just have to say, I spent a whole lot of time about being really mad about being oppressed and being suppressed. I'm a stripper, and y'all ought to be able to like I ought to be able to be out on Instagram in my stripper outfits on the stage at the strip club. Would it be cool to be this stripper if it wasn't a thing that society held in some contempt?
Right.
Isn't the cool in the contempt? So, like, if you want to be edgy, you're gonna have to understand that you will have to pay for that in the price of actually being
I
on
don't
there.
know why that just like blew my mind. Like I I don't know if you saw my face. I'm just like literally like outside of my head. Like I was very helpful for me. I mean, because you can apply it to who you are and what it
Yes.
is that you are doing. If it's edgy, then I think you just rocked whoever's listening's world because you just gave a fucking mini masterclass in edgy. But for me, I can interpret that as happy or silly or fun, right? Because ideally, not ideally, but the way I'm interpreting this is whoever's listening is not centered. They're left of center somehow, right? So I'm left of center because I'm fucking silly and happy. And that is not what people are expecting, because the way that I'm interpreted as frivolous or whatever is that I'm childlike. I'm fucking childlike, and I'm too something. I'm too happy. I'm too having fun and
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm too optimistic and all this stuff. So it's like,
Bet you get that.
huh?
I bet you get that
Oh
accusation.
yeah, these are exactly these accusations. That's exactly whatever
Like, you're
accusation, so to
fucked
speak,
up.
that you're getting is you're too left, right? You're left of center, or these are the accusations that you are getting that you're too something, right? So whatever you're getting, person who's listening, that you're getting are your accusations that you're left of center, and these are the things that I bet that you got into this fucking thing on the first place for. These things that you are getting, these accusations that you're saying, oh, you're too childlike, you're too fun, you're too edgy, you're too sexy, you're too whatever, loud, whatever. That's why you're here, honey. That's why you got into this thing in the first place. Stop taking these accusations as judgments and start saying fucking thank you for the
Yes,
reminder. Thank
yes,
you. That
yes,
and remember that that is the shit sandwich that you signed up for. I
yes,
I could be a comedian, but I don't want to be a comedian because of how much travel it entails. And I don't want to be, there's certain shit sandwiches that you don't want to eat, but you could be, right? Like you could be, remember we were talking about the creating joy. There's so many creations that we could be. We could be multi-passionate people. There, you in this life, you could be a painter, right? You could be different kinds of creative people, passion people, but you decided not to eat that particular shit sandwich. You want to
yes,
eat a different shit sandwich, as
yes,
Elizabeth Gilbert says, right? But I don't want to be a comedian because in this life, that's not the one that I want. But the one that I chose to have was one that I created as a fucking merriment maker. And when people remind me that I am childlike, instead of saying, oh, fuck you, I should say, thank you. That's
yes.
what I'm going for.
Yes, absolutely. And, on that same token, there may be times that you legitimately get left out.
Yes,
Yeah, you get left out. There may be times that people hurt your feelings and your feelings are actually hurt. And in those times, that's the ticket price of admission.
exactly. Exactly. Like how you're not being invited or having the access to certain things because you're edgy. The same goes for whatever your quote too much or too less or whatever is. You will have a lack of access to certain things, but you will also be granted access to certain things that other people will not have
That's
because
correct.
of that. And we
That's
have to, this
correct.
is just a reminder, and I don't know why that just blew my mind, but it's a permission reminder access pass. And oh my god, this just in. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have some breaking news. Breaking news. The wage gap between men and women has lessened a bit. A family organized an adorable dog parade for a man's 100th birthday. A Dutch court ordered the Shell gas company to slash their emissions by 45%. There have been no negative effects in studies of people shifting to 4-day work weeks.
Ooh.
A seal walked into a hardware store and it was objectively adorable. To encourage fast fashion ending in France, people are getting bonuses for mending their clothes. A farmer surprised his wife with 1.2 million sunflowers for their 50th anniversary.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that just keeps happening.
That's a brilliant move, by the way. And this one I'm talking about. Like, your branding is just like, you murdered that shit, dude.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but that
You're,
just keeps happening.
yeah.
Some girl just keeps coming in here and just like saying good news. Anyway, sorry about that interruption. But let's move on to spread joy. So, so actually, no, actually, I want to
Okay.
ask you about being a mom.
Yeah.
Because that's creating. And I love the way that you stood up for motherhood at Vortex Fest. And I have, I'm not a mom, and I had a weird relationship with my mom. I feel like a lot of times people aren't making conscious decisions to be parents because they think they should do it, or, they should be a mom. They're pressured into it, or simply they fall into it, which results in like extra overwhelm. Parenthood's already overwhelming, or and then they become like abusive or neglectful because they're resentful. But if you're a parent who wants to have a kid, and this idea that, like, when we say things are just something, I hate when people say that's just a bird that you're into, or you're just a stay-at-home parent. I hate that. And I think it's deeply important to acknowledge anything that you are. And when you are a stay-at-home parent or any kind of parent, giving your kid as much attention as possible is incredible. I wish my mom had been there for me that much. So I don't know. Is there anything that you want to say about like creating as a mom and like what that looks like? I don't know. Or just bookend that?
I conceived by surprise my second son on the same day that I was awarded the Next Great Podcast Competition award. I just so happened to conceive my son, incidentally, maybe TMI, but in my sleep, because I was doing this weird thing where
I do remember that.
yeah, like for like 3 months in a row when I was ovulating, I was like waking up, fucking my husband. Like, he's probably like, bitch, could you not? But the people know.
This is who I married, though. So what?
Yes,
I suppose you would say, what do you expect?
yes. And my husband, by the way, very opposite of me.
Yeah,
Okay?
mine. Yeah,
Yes.
I think we all
Yes.
do
You
that.
cannot have two of these
Nope.
kind of people. Right. So this child coming into the world felt like a rebirth for me in many ways. And but what I want to say is not even about me. I really want to acknowledge, like, I think it has like become unhip, or like to some people even offensive or some shit to like talk about female body experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, was it ever okay? Really? Truly. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, I was just watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and how, I mean, that was in the 60s, but like how she was trying to talk about just like giving birth and they took her off the stage. And it's like, technically, has this ever really been all right?
Yeah, and that's a good question, huh? but it's been, like, not alright for, like, in every permutation. I
Mhm.
mean, now I mean, like, I'm telling you, my mind is blown how from almost any political
Right.
or ideological standpoint, they can find a way to make it problematic to talk about things like giving birth, for
Yeah.
example. Okay, like the far right, no. What hell, even the far left, now they're like, no,
Mhm.
don't wear the pussy hat, don't talk about a pussy or whatever. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going to.
Mhm.
And for the percentage of women who will become mothers, which is a rather high one. And I mentioned this at the Vortex Fest, and I don't know that number exactly, but it's up there. A lot of women become mothers. And to those women, I really just want to say, like, I think it's corny when you see people online saying, like, I see you because who am I? I'm a stranger. But I want to say, I know the life that I'm living, and I know a few things. First of all, you were pregnant and gave birth. That is hardcore. I'm telling you, people do not know. They don't know. Like, some people have easier experiences than me, and blessed they are. But
Mhm.
for me, I could have sawed off my own legs and it hurt less. I'm telling you, bro. That kind of pain fucking changes you
Even the
on a
easiest experience is a shit
yeah.
one.
I mean, like, what an experience, and it wasn't easy, and then you come home with this little bitty baby, and, like, now you're not gonna sleep, and it's really hard, and you sacrifice so much, and, uh, like, nobody really seems to I don't think they notice, you know?
No, and then the kids don't really get it either. They're not
No.
gonna get it for 30 years if they
No,
do.
and you owe it to that kid too. That
Yeah,
baby don't owe you shit.
right, they
You owe
didn't ask for any of this.
right, you owe it to that kid.
Right.
And so, I just want to say to mothers, like, props, because if your experience has been anything like mine, and I suspect we probably have had a lot of common experiences, I feel like I'm having a pretty, like, here I am back in that motherhood world. I just want to say, like, first of all, congratulations on keeping humankind alive
Yeah.
through great agony and sacrifice on every level. I mean, yeah, I couldn't even eat sushi. Come on now. All right. They don't even let you eat deli meat. That, like, you can't even eat an Italian sub.
That's
I
great.
mean, that shit, don't even get me started on all the other shit.
Right.
So, like, props to moms for creating a whole human at great cost to themselves. And I can't see you, but I can see me. And if you're listening right now, and you relate, then just know, like, you're not alone, and you didn't ever have to write a single poem. You are one by
Yeah.
your very existence.
Yes. God, I mean, I remember reading, like, how many people it took for us to be born, like, generations of people, and it's like, I mean, healthcare wasn't even a thing. I mean, I remember I was watching The
Yeah.
Godfather, and, like, the hospital they had him in was, like, it was just a room
Yeah.
with, like, an IV. Like, just shut up, that's not a hospital, that's just a place,
Yes.
and that's, like, the 30s or something, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, what was, like, medicine really before that? It just, like, someone there, you know? So, I mean, the amount of things that people had to go through to have a baby and die during childbirth and
Oh
all
yeah.
this stuff, like, for generations and generations and generations, all these people that had to, like, walk across, like, continents and shit just so you could be alive now, and then,
It's
like,
something.
it's mind it blowing just to think about it. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard, and I mean, I don't know. Don't I just feel like we shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't believe that we should go into anything, and especially parenthood, without a conscious decision.
Yes.
I personally believe that, especially for the
Yes.
kids' sake, and we have a lot of people, but also don't shit on parenthood or motherhood like it's a lame ass thing, especially when you're doing it with deliberate intention and love.
Yes, and, the final thing I'll say on this topic, and by the way, nothing but love to the, child-free folks. Yo, I don't own cats, and I know y'all motherfuckers love them, okay? For real. So, I get it, we don't have to like the same things.
Right, let's allow ourselves to disagree on things, huh?
Yes. But one final point that I would like to make on this notion is I think that I mean, I don't think, I know we are animals, okay? We
Mhm,
are products of evolution,
mhm,
and we are living in a society now that is quite civilized, but on the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't that long ago that we were straight in caves, okay?
mhm, yeah,
And I think that in society today, we have come to identify power in very masculine ways. Um, and we have come to identify disempowerment with a traditional animal female experience. So, for example, okay, when we were out here being cavemen and shit, the women needed to be protected. They needed to be in the caves. You need a lot more women than you do men. All these dudes can die killing saber-toothed tigers, but we need to stay alive because we're the ones bringing the babies, and we're the ones caring for the babies, and we're the ones forming these communities among ourselves, which is why I think that women kind of are drawn to female community in a way that we just kind of don't see men. Male
right,
community tends to still be based in competition, for fun,
right.
sports and shit, video games. But, women get together and we want to hear about your life. Yeah. And so what I want to say is, I don't know everything, but I have a suspicion that that we tend to think of things that are traditionally female, like raising a baby at home, as disempowered and missing out on life. And
Mhm,
we tend to think that running the business and being the CEO, that's the empowered thing. Sometimes I wonder if those notions of power and disempowerment are objective fact, or if they are actually a form of misogyny, meaning we just don't think it's actually to be having these children and raising these children. What if we could reframe that as powerful? If men lactated, they'd be having whole competitions over who could produce the most milk, which also your body is producing a material that alone keeps alive a whole nother person,
I
and
mean,
that's not considered like a powerful badass thing. So
right.
I would just love to see, some kind of reframing as well of what we think as uh as power. I think a lot of times we privilege what is masculine.
I agree. I think there's a lot of language that we use around when there's a mom that has a child or kids, or for example, if a, a mom has their kid leave the house, even just to go back to school, and then you might hear a mom hanging out with another woman, and they'll say something like, what about your life? What are you going to do with your life now? And it's like, mm, okay, but so now that my kids aren't here, I get to have a life, right? So that's kind of like the implication. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like
Oh,
your
yes.
life is not the y- you get to have a life in spite of the children now that the kids are gone. And it's like, well, what if I was actually enjoying that? What if
Yes.
I was enjoying having the children there? What if I want to have more babies? What if that's what I desire to do? And there's an implication that like you get to be free when they're gone, and that's when your life begins, or like, or but then I don't know, like you said, it's the hierarchy of what is important, and which is based in a patriarchal, capitalistic, misogynistic kind of
100%.
situation.
Yes.
And why is that? What about your life, which cannot revolve around maternal, feminine life giving? It's like, your life, what about the life that I was providing?
Yes.
Your life can be anything you'd like it to be, sweetheart.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, the reframing is a really important thing. Your life can be anything you'd like it to be. In fact, your life could be living, I always say, living in a room, a locked room, eating saltines until you die. You can choose whatever you would like. It's completely up to you. Stop letting other people dictate what is or is not okay.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
now we'll move on to spread. So I asked you to bring a physical item that
Yeah.
makes you happy or you use to make other people happy. Can you bring that out and tell me about it?
Yeah, let me grab it. It's right back here.
Boop, 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 boop.
Well, I got a lot of things in life to make me happy, okay? I got a number of things I really enjoy, okay? For one thing, I really enjoy my Iron Man watch, but that's a whole I love this is my favorite thing I own, but that's another story. This guy,
Ooh, it's a shoe.
it's a shoe and it's beat up
Oh,
pretty good,
oh, it's like fire.
yeah. It is so blacklight reflective.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it looks beautiful on video. This is
Yes.
my workhorse. And by that I mean, like just when I'm training or, just trying to learn some new shit, I'm at the studio dancing. I love to wear these.
How many inches is this heel for people
This
that are
is a
listening?
7 inch.
This is 7-inch stripper heel platform shoe that is like yellow, orange, and red, kind of like spectrum, with
Uh-huh.
like a
Like a
clear, I don't know what to call, like the top that connects to your actual foot is clear.
Yeah, so this is a Pleaser
A
brand
pleaser.
shoe, which is the classic stripper shoe. And by the way, for the folks that are listening, a 7 inches is what I would consider standard.
Okay.
Um, that's what that's a kind of it's still high, but like you won't totally kill yourself. Some people like to dance in 6. You don't see those as often. And once you start getting into 8, it's like you need to like I don't even like to fuck with 8 inches, okay, on any level, okay. But yeah, this guy brings me a lot of joy because um pole dance particularly disappeared from my life for quite some time. In fact, incidentally, I have a YouTube video coming out about that today. I think it might have just gone live.
Nice.
Yeah, about why I quit pole dance and why
Mm.
I'm back. And I had a pretty traumatic experience, like walking away from pole, which was one of the
Mm.
things I was best at in my life. And it was what I became well known for after
Yeah.
a lifetime of striving for somebody to know my name. It was pole dance that did it. And then I fell down a bunch of stairs and I injured the fuck out of myself and I got burned out and I quit. Like quit, like, not just, like, tapered off, but, like, I'm
Done.
done. I drew a line, and I thought that it was done forever, and then, I got preggers at 40 by accident, and, got preeclampsia, which is, like, super serious, like, that your ass will die from this shit. Yeah, so I just like, I was battered and feeling ugly, which is unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't like felt just like incapable.
Yeah.
All of this, I used to be an athlete, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'd be cranking out pull-ups. I just like back in the days at the strip club, there was like a bar above the bar. And one of the things I like to do would just get up there and just fucking I would do like 5 and then I'd look and I keep it going, and people love that shit. So like I had this memory of being just so capable and strong and this athlete, and I thought that it was over for me. I really, really did. But then after I had this baby, something about having a baby will make you like crave your old self again
Mm.
and crave feeling like a sexy woman,
Mm-hmm.
which I think a lot of people think is like a kind of a silly or frivolous or vain pursuit. But I dare say 95% of y'all women out there listening right now, all y'all secretly from time to time want to be a sexy ass bitch.
There's
Whatever
nothing
that means.
wrong with that. Like,
Right. I think this is like such a secret yearning that women have, but that they're like embarrassed to admit because they think that like either they're not pretty enough, they got the wrong body, they're too old, they're
I think
too
age comes up in my head a lot. Like, not for me, but like hearing it from other people, that it's like almost like a middle life crisis or something. Like when you see like a guy with a Corvette, like that classic kind of stereotype. It's like, well, you can't do, especially after having a child, like you're supposed to go from maiden, mother, crone, right?
yeah.
You're not allowed to be sexy after this particular thing. Now you're being like a siren, or you're doing something backwards, and how dare you, right? How dare you?
Yes.
So, but
Yes.
why not dare you? Like,
Absolutely. And I was having these feelings of like I thought that when I'm 42 now. I just turned 42 a couple days ago.
Leo.
Yeah, and I thought, yeah, Leo for sure. And I thought, for sure that by the time I was in my 40s, that I would definitely be a crone, and I wouldn't want to feel like this vibrant, alive,
Mhm.
hot bitch. But damn it, there it is. The desire was still there. And I want it to be a beautiful dancer again. And
Yeah,
I want it to be strong and capable. And so, surprisingly to me and to, I think, a lot of my fans, I went back into pole dancing at like beginner levels. That's after like I was world renowned,
yeah,
dude. Yeah. Like
yeah.
and people, by the way, these people in the pole world now, like the kids, they don't even know who I am. It's crazy. I knew I must sound like a fucking egotistical dick or something, but I used to be kind of a rock star in
No,
that world.
it's like a Slash going into like a basic guitar class or something. Like, yeah,
Yeah, right. But I did it,
yeah.
and I've stuck with it. And that's why this little shoe here brings
Hmm.
me so much joy now because
Hmm.
in my hectic life of nonstop work and service and labor right now, this is like the hour of the
Yeah.
day that nobody's like I ain't doing shit for nobody but me.
Yep.
And I was just watching, like we had these little recitals at my dance studio. Like you're in like a class at 6 weeks, then you have a recital before you move up to the next level. And I was just watching a video from my recital with my little baby this morning because I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet. And I was watching it, and I literally said out loud, I was like, man, it makes me like I'm really um it's like I'm really happy to see
Yeah.
uh to see me be this person again,
Yeah.
you know and like
Absolutely.
it brings me so much joy, not only to know that like, oh look, I'm a sexy beautiful dancer and I'm athletic again, that but it also, it's like you just keep thinking that life is over and it fucking just keeps not being.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love this example of the shoe because not only is it almost like a phoenix and it's literally on fire with its colors, but it's something that you wear and is something that I'm like you'll wear it and feel good in it, and we've just explained why you feel good in it, but it's something that as you wear it and dance, you'll bring other people joy while you do it too, whether it is for the group that's watching
Totally.
you, but when you tape yourself and like that's literally what you've done online like for so long, and like how many people get joy from watching you and have for so long. And it's one of the reasons I mean one of the many reasons I consider you a merriment maker of, but I think one of the things that people get wrong about what a merriment maker is they immediately go to the idea of spreading joy, right? And for me, it's this criteria that we've kind of gone through. It's embody, create, spread. It's that you have to feel good first, and then you have a passion that you are working with, and that you're kind of expressing it through these channels, and then you go out and then you create it for someone else. You spread it and you sprinkle it to someone else, but you cannot go in the reverse order. And if you try
No.
to, you'll fuck yourself up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what you're doing right now with this shoe gives me chills because it is such a good example. Like, you had to go back to square one, quit
Yes.
literally like step one of pole dance, like level one,
Yeah.
to get back in the shoe. And then it'll begin spreading joy again, you know?
Yes. I could not agree more.
Phoenix.
Yeah, and to like any of the people out there who are like running businesses or, the I'm probably gonna sound cliche here, but what I'm about to say is true, and I learned it again and again, and I bet you've probably learned it a time or two as a businesswoman. So on the real, the shit that sells is the shit that you're actually in love with.
Yep.
And then that you're excited about. And the moment that you find, and Gala was talking about this weekend, you know what I'm saying? The moment that you find that you are feeling bored or stagnant with what you're trying to shill in these streets,
Mm-hmm.
then you need to reconnect and find what it is. You got to start back at the beginning of that process, that
Yep.
three-step process
Yep.
that you described. And you might have to put something totally different on the market. And Lord Jesus knows that Lux ATL has been through a number of iterations of my career,
Yep. I
even
have
as
this
Lux.
I have this sticky note from when I was listening to Rick Rubin, and we were talking about being left of center. And it says, when the counterculture becomes the culture, the only way out is to move on. And
100.
I think for people like us, when I first started, self-love was not really that well talked about or well known. There were only like 5 of us really
Yeah,
talking about it.
yeah,
And people came to me like hungry for
yeah.
self-love. And now that shit is so oversaturated. It's
Saturated.
uneducated the way people are talking about it, you know?
Listen.
And
No.
so when I talk about I might as well just be dropping it in the fucking toilet because it doesn't matter. So I had to go back
Yep.
to this 3-step process that is my now, and I created my own fucking method about what this is, which I didn't even realize I was doing, was creating my own fucking ethos. And now I'm excited about it again.
Yes.
And until I
Again.
get bored with it, then I will continue to do this. So that's where we are.
And Mary, the leaders and the visionaries are the ones who are always about 5 motherfucking steps ahead. You gotta be edgy too, because by being 5 steps ahead, everybody thinks you're fucking on some dumb shit.
Yup.
Yeah,
I
until
have never been a Halloween costume that someone got.
I feel you. Yeah,
5 years
yeah.
later, they're like, I think I know what she was.
That's correct. And you know what? You will also see the true visionaries, the true thinkers. You will see them come up with some shit, and then like a few years later, everybody's copying them.
Yep.
And by the way, I see you motherfuckers, okay? And I don't appreciate it. I think it's really lame, but Don't worry about it because I'm on to the next well before the rest of the people who are the biters are even grasping what I was doing in 2020.
I will say that I have been in my times of like hard life that I will get too much in a rut and let myself not get like not stay excited. Like I will not
Yeah.
examine where I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've had times where I have not done that and that's been a thing, but I don't think I'm there anymore. Like I think I know how to not do that, you know, but I've definitely been like, no, we just keep doing this. We
Of
just keep doing
course.
this, you know? And but I think it's a good warning to people to be like, just make sure it feels it feels exciting. Just make sure it feels exciting.
Yes.
Now, you have gotten to work with a lot of women and travel to different places in the world, like we mentioned. And I've read some quotes and testimonials from people that say things like, literally, you have saved my life.
That's
And
nice.
it's crazy. Like when we were at Vortex Fest, you were also like deeply communicative of how humbling it was to know how hundreds of people had spent their money to travel to see you and how people stopping to take their picture with you
Yeah.
was not lost on you. And I
No.
really see how much you have stayed in the physical realm of this reality. And I just want to let you know how that is not lost on me. And I
Man, thank you.
appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. And I really appreciate your kind words. And I've worked real hard and thought real hard to give the messages that I give, but nonetheless, there are so many beautiful and interesting women out there. There's so many, when people, I'll say, for example, like let's just say a Vortex Fest. People want to take photos with me. They're practically embarrassed to ask, and
Mhm.
then they're apologizing too for like taking my time or something. And I get it because I feel that way about people too. There's people that I've been the same way, but I just want to say to those people, um, people come up and they're like, I needed to hear you. I needed to hear you today. Well, you know what? Like, I needed to hear you
Yes.
today
Yes.
because I, uh, I mean, I've fucking been through a lot, man. And like, like, I just like, am I relevant? Like, does anybody care?
Yeah.
And I think things sometimes like why would what do I have to offer to like why should somebody spend their money with me,
Mhm.
and it's just really nice to get that reminder that's something I'm saying out there is reaching people and that they do care, and I forget that because I am insecure and I've been getting straight A's my whole life at everything that I can do. So God damn, will you fucking love me now? Is it good enough now? Like, am I there yet? Like, am I pretty enough? Did I say the smart enough thing? Did I dance? Did I become great enough at this? And did
Yep.
I become a great at that? Like, you know, I just, so much of my greatness and my achievement has been because I've been like proving myself. Please, please let it be good enough.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes if you see somebody on a big stage in front of a big audience, you think like, oh, this bitch got it all. And like, she knows she's the shit. And I think some bitches do know they're the shit and props. But sometimes I appreciate the reassurance and I truly am humbled. And I think people say like, I'm so humbled. But I think they're kind of being fake, but like,
I think you can tell though. I think it's
yeah.
very, for me, it's very easy to tell when someone's like, I'm pretty much the best at being humble versus like what you,
That is such a quote. I love
yeah.
that quote. Yes.
There's a moment, I can't remember who Lena Dunham's character in Girls is speaking to in this moment of the show, but she says, she's sitting across from someone like of status in the moment of the show, and she says, I was going to send you this email and tell you that I loved your work and I really appreciated you and how much you meant to me, but I figured you were already getting too many of those types of emails. And he
Yes.
sat there for a second And he looked at her and he said, I promise you, Hannah, no one is ever getting too many of those types of emails.
It's true.
And no matter how rich or famous or many words someone gets to say on a stage, they can always use your praise.
Yes. And it means so much to me,
It does.
man. Like, just like, yeah, I'm doing the right work and like it matters and it gives me the fuel to like come here and take a 8-minute shower and throw on some lipstick so I can look pretty for you
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
and thank you for inviting me to be on here and I
Yes.
think we have some mutual friends as well,
Yeah.
don't we? From the pole world, I think you're friends with
Oh, you and I?
yeah, you and
Oh,
me.
yeah, my
Mora.
Mora, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Do you have any ideas of how you feel like spreading merriment has been effective and actualized at this point at this stage in your life? Like, how do you feel like, we've kind of gone from embody, create, and spread. How do you feel like, are there any particular stories that you can think of right now, like that it's been the most actualized for you of spreading merriment?
Yeah, strip cabin, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and all of my retreats really, but strip cabin is the OG. And by the way, I'm about to put that shit on hiatus too. So
Oh,
like
okay.
2024, like you want to get in if you ever want to come because I'm
This
gonna
is
put it
it.
on. Yeah, and I haven't said that to the public at all yet. So that's the
Okay.
first drop of this information.
Where's the
Um,
location going to be?
it's in Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains. It's in Sevierville, where Dolly Parton is from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Love
and
Dolly.
it's so strip cabin is my original strip trip. It's a 3-night long weekend in a big ass lodge with about 20 women. And you know, I just noticed many years ago that women really were craving uh, an audience, a
Mhm.
stage, a chance to feel beautiful, appreciated, to be hollered for and clapped for. I
Yeah.
think that most people feel arrogant to dare admit that they want that, but I think most of us do want it. And
Yeah.
so I created this event where women come together, like it's opening night lingerie party. I've got a pole, I've got all the music, and I think that one of my great gifts is being an MC of an event.
Mm.
Like, girl, I can make a
Yes.
party happen. I
Yes.
can make the party happen. And I
You're the
have
best
perfected
hype
that.
man.
Yeah, and I perfected it to a science too. It looks real casual and it looks casual and spontaneous, but like it's a science.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
whole thing that I've got going, back here. But when you come to strip cabin, dude, like everybody they just start out nervous, they're scared, they think that they're gonna look stupid, they think they're not gonna make friends. Bro, 30 minutes in, these broads are lit. And I don't just mean on alcohol because we got
Right.
sober girls every year. And we've had pregnant women there too every
Yeah,
year.
I've seen that.
Yeah. A lot of them signed up before they got pregnant and they're
Ah!
like, here we come.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be actually RSVP'd for 2+.
Pretty much. One time I even had a broad, and I love this bitch, but if she's listening, she gonna this bitch snuck a whole chihuahua into strip cabin.
Dang!
Yes, and kept the dog hidden until the end of the week. I love her, but I'm like, you did what? Anyways, strip cabin is like my greatest example of listen, I think that a lot of times when we talk about womanhood, it's all about all the hardships and oppressions. And sometimes
Yeah.
we get confused and think that womanhood is a fucking collection of oppressions. And
Fucking preach. Fucking preach.
yeah, yeah.
And we
And
are not the only ones, honey, that have things to deal with. Women are not the only group of people that have this like uh the difference between expectation and reality. Like, stop being martyrs too.
yes, and I just wanted to create a
Great.
Yeah, like celebrate. Like
Please.
let's have fun.
Yes.
Let's be sexy. Let's live out some of our like sexy fantasies in an environment that is safe and consensual and with no expectations.
Yes.
You know, people often think, you know, strip cabin and my retreats, they think maybe is a lesbian orgy. I love lesbian orgies, but it is not a lesbian orgy. It's a sexy
Right.
sisterhood. So you know, you can come, you get lap dances, you give lap dances, you
Yeah.
feel like this goddess, and they are having sometimes like I just step back and just look,
Yeah.
and I know that because of what I created a whopping 7 years ago with that event,
Mm.
I know that because of what I have created, there are over 150 women who have memories of a lifetime that they
Yeah.
will, and for many of them, and I know I'm talking a lot. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Yo, a bitch like me, I lived my life on the stage, and it was a fucking good time. And, you know, I had all of these opportunities to be this rock star. Now, I wasn't famous in any real way, but even just being on a strip club stage, people throwing money on you and shit, like I had all these opportunities to be on a stage and feel like this bad bitch. Most people don't get those chances,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Most people do not get those chances. And I just wanted to create an arena where I could give that really fun opportunity to as many women as possible. And
Mm.
I'm telling you, there is nothing like it to be dancing in your lingerie with your hair done and feeling like just super beautiful, and all of these people are like watching, and they're yelling for you, and they're clapping, and they're saying your name. If you have never experienced that, you got to, because you'll remember it for the rest of your life. And that's what I like to share and spread to the
What a
homies.
beautiful gift.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you guys,
amazing.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So now that I mean, I imagine that's going on hiatus because of how old your kid is, right?
No,
Oh,
no,
no?
it's going on hiatus because I'm putting out all new shit. Like,
Okay, so my next question
yeah.
is, I mean, maybe you can't answer this because of whatever, but what does the next phase of spreading joy look like for you? So answer to your best of ability with secret keeping.
The next phase of spreading joy, I want to do everything I can to bring people together in person.
Yeah.
I am going to continue with my online academy, School of Strip Craft,
Mhm.
although I am connecting to it in-person events to as part of your tuition.
Mhm.
Um, I am continuing to host retreats, but I'm off like girl. The people don't even fucking know. Like, I just retired Strip Cabana. Like, 2024 is going to be the end of Strip Cabana. Strip Cabin, I'm putting on hiatus to make way for some new shit that I've got coming. I'll give you one hint and say that I have already rented a private island. Okay. Yeah, it's done.
I rented the whole fucking
Yeah, I
island, all
rented the
right?
whole island, and
I
you
didn't
know,
know
so
you could
that
do that.
you can, and it takes a
All
lot
right.
of research, okay? But I love, like, this is like, I love finding these properties. And I found one, and it's an unknown gem. I think it's going to blow up in the next few years. And so that's why I retired Strip Cabana, and I didn't tell anybody. I like the public didn't know, but I retired Strip Cabana because I wanted to take it up a notch. And so in its place, do you know what I'm calling it?
Renting a fucking island.
Yeah, guess what I'm calling it? It's the best name, Strip Wreck.
Stop.
Isn't that a good name? It's
Oh my
so
god. I want to get you like a treasure trunk and have it like overflowing with like all
you
the little
know I'm already
oh,
thinking, bitch.
mm.
Like the gift boxes. I'm gonna stop because I don't want to spoil
Okay.
it for these
I
guests.
want you to have little pirate patch pasties.
I'm dead. I have to be like, I just need you around to keep giving me these motherfucking ideas.
This is what I do.
You're so creative.
This is all I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, honey, this is so exciting. I think everything is just coming to more in-person stuff. And
I
yeah,
agree.
so okay, last thing.
Yep.
At Vortex Fest, you mentioned one of the most profound things was that you, at the end of your life, you don't want to be the person that you miss the most. I think about death all the time. It's not something most people know about me. I have constant
I know.
existential crises every
Yeah.
day. When I pet my
Me
cats,
too.
I'm like, I literally say out loud, I'm gonna miss you so much when you're dead. And I like
I
mean that.
know.
I mean, like, but I believe like a huge motivator for feeling joy
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
understanding of the
Yes.
lack of it, or
Yes.
the understanding it can be taken away at any
Yes.
moment. This impermanence is beautiful.
100%. And I could not agree more.
Whew. And exercise I like to do is to think about my epitaph, like what I want my gravestone to say, if I had one. Actually, my mom bought me one. I told her that I wasn't putting my ash. That she wants everybody to get. This is what she wants to do. She wants everybody to get what is it, cremated, and then put our ashes in the ground. And I was like, I don't understand. It seems like you should put the body in the ground. She bought everybody a grave plot, and I told her I want to be scattered, and she
Yes.
said, well, I bought you one. And I was like, and it's in Delaware. I don't even live there. and, and I was like, okay, well, here's the thing. I'll give you a little bit of my ashes. You can put some of that in
Yes.
there, right? And she was like, I don't want to do that. And then she just bought it anyways. Anyway, I'm gonna put a little bit. I'll have a gravestone anyway. So,
Dad.
but you can change your epitaph as much as you want, right? It's
Yes.
just this cognitive exercise. But then I work backwards. Like, how can I work now in this moment to be that moment, that epitaph, this idea? And sometimes it can be performative, right? But I think it's a helpful question to ask. So I want to ask you now, if you had a bracelet made that said, what would Lux do? WWLD. How would that guide your decisions and behavior? Maybe it would be just something that you wore, like on your wrist, or maybe it could be something that people bought and people that loved you or followed you wore it. So, what would Lux do? So, freestyle your answer. What would Lux do? Go.
What would Lux do? Lux would get back on the boat. The sea of life, motherfucker, is rough, bitch. Okay? By the way, I apologize for my profanity. It's something I'm working on to little
Fuck it.
success.
Fuck it.
Little success, okay? It's just where I come from. My grandmother cussed like this, okay? I mean, it's for real. The sea of life can be rough sometimes, friend, and we feel as if we are at the mercy of this ocean. And in many ways, we are. There are so many things that we can't control. However, you do have that steering wheel. You are at the helm. And sometimes the sea of life can be so rough that you're tossed bodily from the boat. And now you're out there drowning, and I know the feeling, man. And I'm like I said, dog, I feel it now, you know?
Yes.
But until my heart stops beating, I will fight against those waves, and I will climb back onto that boat, and I will grab that steering wheel. And the only thing that will stop me is the grave. And until then, you ain't never going to be able to keep me down. Get back on the boat.
That's what Lux would do.
That's what Lux would do.
The daily double. It's time for Uncustomary. This is a high speed round where I ask you very fast questions and you give me the answers off the top of your head.
Okay.
What's the kindest thing you've witnessed lately?
I witnessed my Uber driver give $100 bill to a woman with some children on the side of the road.
Holy shit. In your best Boston accent, please say, park the car in the garage.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at accents. Here we go.
Please try it anyway.
Park the car in the garage.
That was wonderful. Which animal would be the most hilarious if the whole species started talking?
Sharks.
What's your favorite song to dance to right now?
Good for You by Selena Gomez.
If you had a new talent, like a fairy godmother just gave it to you overnight, which would you choose?
Easy. I'd be able to sing my ass off.
That's what I would choose too. Is it cool to laugh during sex?
No.
That's not what I was expecting. What's the worst pizza topping?
As delicious as they are, red onions, because them guts are gonna be rumbling, bitch.
Troll dolls or Furbies?
Oh, Furbies. They talk.
Oh! What's the best Disney villain?
Oh my gosh. Mufasa.
Oh! That's Mora's
The
favorite as
Scar.
well.
Scar. Mufasa was
That's what I knew. I knew you meant that. I knew that you
yes.
meant that. Yes. That's Mora's favorite as well. That was her first crush. And finally, are ducks hot right now?
Dogs.
Ducks! Quack quack!
Duck. No,
Yes,
nobody.
they are, Lux. That was incorrect. Now it's time to plug your shiz. Is there anything that you would like to plug and let everyone know where they can find you and what things that you would like to celebrate of offerings that you have?
Man, totally. So 2024 is the 10th anniversary of my business, Strip Craft. I'm
Woo!
about to be doing so much cool shit in 2024. So here are ways that you can either get to know me or work with me. Okay. First of all, School of Strip Craft. I'm going to be opening enrollment again in the fall for next year, where we can learn various different forms of sensual movement. And I will be having a pole dance section as well. There is that. Secondly, if you only want to spend $11, buy my book, Too Pretty to Be Good by Lindsay Byron. You can get it on Amazon or wherever else books are sold online. Not to toot my own horn, but it is a heartbreaking work of genius, man. Really. And you can read it in a day. It's a page turner. If
Not
you
just like Dracula, as we've established.
Dracula, that's a
Page
page
turners.
turner. Can't put it down. Yes. If you would like to experience my writing real quick without waiting for the book, you can go to my Substack. It is called Tumultuous True Stories by Lindsay Byron. Google that and you will find me. And finally, dude, for a living, man, I take hot babes to mansions globally where we dance, we skinny dip all day long. We be having mimosas and feasting our fucking asses off on every level. We might even hang out with some sloths, some monkeys. About to go to Iceland in a couple months.
Or a
Go
chihuahua that someone sneaks in.
Marty. Okay, Marty, if you're listening.
Fucking
Okay.
Marty.
I love Marty. She's one of my favorite clients of all time, but she will sneak a fucking dog in. Okay. That's one thing about Marty. We're about to go to Iceland. We're going to Spain, dude. Like I said, I've rented a private island. I've got some other cool shit on the docket that I don't want to reveal yet, but I will just say I really thinking about renting some tour buses and doing a little road trip. So if you want to come and have the ultimate in women's travel with a sexy twist, I'm telling you, I invented this shit. I am the OG. I have been doing it for a long time. I have got it perfected. Come on a strip trip. Now, let me say one last thing. I'm in the middle of a rebrand and my website is about to change. For right now, just Google Lux ATL. You can find me right now at drluxatl.com. My new website is Good Times for Bad Girls. Good Times, Bad Girls. Bitch, don't quote me on that because I don't have the URL memorized yet.
Well,
But
people can
really,
also do your newsletter, right? Because
the
that's where.
newsletter,
Yeah.
yes. drluxatl.com / newsletter. It is in my Instagram bio. And thank you, by the way, for bringing that up, because that is the best
Yes.
way to keep up with me. My newsletter is not nonstop ads. It is heartfelt quality content that I'm
Mhm.
spending real time and real money to
Yep.
produce to give to y'all for free. So go to my newsletter and subscribe.
I'm
I would
subscribed. It's
love to.
actually real content. Yeah. So
Yeah. I put a lot of work into this, man. And I just would love to see all y'all, if not in the Zoom rooms, maybe in the Zoom rooms and in person, because I'm about that life. I promise you, can't nobody throw a party like me. I will show you a good time. So come hit me up.
truly. Honestly, if you don't do anything else, go to Lux's newsletter and sign up, because at the very least, you'll know what's coming up. You'll be reminded. And it's so easy to get lost when there's so many different things on the internet. And if you are excited about any of this, which you should be, then sign up for the newsletter and you'll have things coming into your email and just be
Yes,
reminded, and then you
yes,
can start at least signing up for the
yes,
notifications.
yes,
But there are so many things that if you're not watching and you're listening right now, you can't even see how just the background of Lux right now. She's in her studio and you can see all the neon lighting and stuff. And the Lux's aesthetic and just there's so much visual stuff that you need to actually be able to witness with Lux. I mean, as we talked about her writing and the verbal, the intellect of Lux is one aspect of her, but the visual element is a whole nother ballgame. So if you have been intrigued by the conversation, you will be put over the top by the visuals. So come on over to, I mean, you can look at her Instagram. She's just not on there as much anymore. But you can look at YouTube, Instagram, and get on that newsletter. And if you were interested in the retreat conversation, then you can get on the last one for 2024 and do that. And Lux, this has been absolutely fucking wonderful and a
for
privilege.
sure.
And I'm so honored that you hung out with me, and got a babysitter for your
Well,
little one.
the feeling is mutual, dog. I'm a fan. You're fucking awesome, by the way. And you're a real person. And I see that you really mean what you're doing out here in the world. I see you in like elevators starting conversations with people. By the way, like that's beautiful, dude. It's beautiful. We need so much more of that, and we need it now. And the world needs you and your beautiful face and your beautiful outfits. You're the shit, and it has been my honor to be on your show. So thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you, Lux. I
Yep,
love you.
mad
I'm going to
love.
ask you to start off this new tradition where I ask every guest to end the show by saying, you have to feel good to do good.
All right. You have to feel good to do good.
Thanks for listening to the Merriment Making podcast. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.